Price index increased 6.2% from a year earlier. And on Wall Street, the Dow's down 272 points. Blue chip index off about 1%. The NASDAQ down 75 points, and the S&P is off 27. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Futures and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Fire the stockbroker and hire yourself. I'm Scott Bauer, and I've been on the trading floor for 25 years. I traded for Goldman Sachs in the S&P 500 pit and was the first Amazon market maker at the CBOE. I am also the senior market strategist here at Trading Advantage, the leading educational firm teaching people how to become professional traders. Now, for a limited time, I am offering one of the trading
Morning, guys. What's up? What's up?
To help build their financial future. Get started right now by calling 1-800-288-0092.
Kind of funny. Saw Chris X live on his radio show. Got a chance to say hello real quick, and then
and the Trading Advantage Daily Market Report at no cost to you. Again, 1-800-288-0092. That's 1-800-288-0092.
Now, Business 1110, FM 96.1 traffic.
There is one accident working. It's on the South Sam. It's eastbound, just before 45 Gulf Freeway. A couple of vehicles involved.
Man, it's 38 this morning. It's like, wow. Come on, folks.
That was chilly.
Where you're
I
going
know,
to
right?
spend a lot of time on the freeway this morning is on the Katy Freeway coming by the loop. Traffic still running in the single digits. I don't know whether to believe this.
Morning, Patrick. Good morning, Veronica.
Time between Grand Parkway and 45. I think it's closer to an hour, but the Katy is
Starting to
just
wake you up. You watching me on
crawling this
Facebook,
morning.
Nikki?
No, but I will.
Cypress
you
Christian
don't-
School. Come to their kindergarten through 12th grade preview on February
All right, we
6th.
got
Now accepting
2
applications,
minutes.
providing excellent
I'm gonna grab a water real
college
quick.
preparatory
Be right back.
education in
Okay,
Northwest
you're good.
Houston for 40 years. Find out more at cypresschristian.org. That's cypresschristian.org.
The following update is for drivers who pay too much for car insurance due to DUIs, DWIs, tickets, or anything else. By now, you know all too well that SR22 auto insurance is way more than you'd ever want to pay. You probably thought you didn't have a choice, but you were wrong. Our company specializes in low-cost, very affordable SR22 auto insurance for high-risk drivers. We know that mistakes happen, so take pride in being able
All
to
right.
offer absolutely free quotes for this very affordable auto insurance meant specifically for you, the overpaying high-risk driver. We're standing
Hey, good morning,
by at
Steve.
800-749-2984.
Morning, Mike.
The only thing you need to do is stop waiting around while your monthly payments stay as high as they are. Our knowledgeable representatives are ready for your call at 800-749-2984. The quote is free, and we'll even handle the filings so you could start saving money every month even sooner. Call 800-749-2984. That's 800-749-2984. Once more, 800-749-2984.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too. Call right now. 800-708-3091. 800-708-3091. 800-708-3091. That's 800-708-3091.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management.
I'd love to
or
know the
owners
story
of this
behind that.
station. It's time to get on the
Or,
right path.
Susan
with
told
Right
me.
Path
Oh, yeah.
Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry.
You can tell me off the air.
Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hot mic.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Want to welcome to the show Mr. Paul Tren with Legacy Mutual Mortgage, standing in for Jennifer Hernandez of the Hernandez team. What's going on, Paul?
Good morning, Mr. Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I understand you had a rough morning already.
A little bit, but I'm getting it squared away as we speak, so not too bad.
Great. So just to let the listeners know what we're talking about, I heard you had a flat on the way to wherever you were going, and now you're at a flat repair shop of some kind.
Yes, we are. I'm getting my car towed. I'm working with the guy right now. And on top of that, the battery's dead.
Oh my
all
gosh.
things are kind of happening to this thing.
Yeah, right. Oh, sounds like oodles of fun.
Yeah, but it's okay though. We're fixing it. We're figuring it all out, so not too big of a deal at all.
Well, great. So tell us, in the world of mortgages, I saw that there was a interest rate hike in mortgages just recently. So what's the future holding? Where are interest rates right now?
It did go up a little bit. The government shutdown kind of spiked the market a bit. There was a bit of uncertainty there. People kind of didn't know what to expect because for a long time, the rates were pretty steady. But now with some time passing and, things are pretty much back to normal, it's settled a bit. So we're seeing anywhere, depending on credit and what kind of terms you're looking at, it's falling anywhere between about a little above 4, so about 4 1/8 to about 4.5 is usually the sweet spot with what we're seeing in the market these days.
And just to be clear, because we have a huge audience of investors, that's retail buyers buying owner-occupied houses. That's the best of the best.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you're doing your numbers for your cost of money on a rental piece of property with long-term financing, don't be counting on 4 1/4 or 4 1/8 to 4 1/4 points, or even up to 4.5. You're going to typically, wherever the retail buyers are paying, most investors are paying about a point and a half higher than that, depending on your credit and how many deals you have and things like that, for buy and hold properties. So I want to point that out.
That is correct.
And the real value, just to let our listeners know, the real value that we find in working with you guys is that when we buy a house as an investor, we buy a house for $110, let's say, and we're going to put $100,000 in it. So we're all in for $210. Then we're going to turn around and flip that for $300,000. We would prefer, in fact, we require that anyone that makes an offer, they'll send in a pre-approval letter, and it's typically not, it's some mortgage company we've never heard of, and it's not typically worth the money or the paper it's printed on. So what we want to do is make sure that we have a real potential buyer, not someone that's going to fall out due to credit, or if whatever the situation is which would cause the buyer not to perform, we have to remarket, and so our holding cost gets increased, which means our cost of holding the property is much higher. So, and it means our profit goes down. That y'all have an ability to give us a red light, green light, and be able to say, hey, yes. I'd stop right here in the early stages. I mean, if a buyer's not going to is not going to be able to qualify, do you want to find that out on day 29, or do you want to find that out on day 5? I'd rather find out early in the process and not, keep my fingers crossed. It takes the guesswork out. That's what y'all are able to do.
Yeah, that is correct. That is right. Our processes are proven. They're in place for a reason, and the pre-approval process. We get as much information as we can up front. We do all the legwork. We really try to just take as much information as we can to make a decision before we give our stamp of approval. And give that pre-approval letter, because that's the golden ticket with us. Once you get that pre-approval letter, that means you went through a pretty stringent process with us, and we have taken a look at every angle of you as a borrower to give you that green light, and that's what sellers look for. That's what investors need to see before moving forward, and they can feel confident in that buyer, and that there aren't any snags later down the road.
Well, I think that's one of the things that if a brand new investor wanted to get started and, and they look at all the different moving parts, if you can standardize on some of these things, you standardize on a title company that you really like that's investor friendly, you standardize on a retail mortgage company, and a lot of investors don't realize how much control they can really have on, dictating which. Now, we don't require that they use you, but what we do require is that they get a pre-approval from y'all, which is just like requiring that they use you, because that means that like 9 times out of 10, y'all actually earn the business with just A-plus quality customer service.
That's right. That's right. I mean, once we make contact with them, that's one thing that stands out a lot too is the customer service, and that gets thrown around a lot, but we actually cater to so many different types of clients, especially first-time home buyers, and there's a way of taking care of these people, and when we're in that process, there's ways of doing things and how we are communicating with them, and walking them through the process to make it easy on everybody. And during that time, you build up a relationship with these potential clients. And you're right. Usually, most of the time, when we get towards the end of the pre-approval process and we send things through and they get that green light, like you mentioned, at that point, there's usually a relationship there that everyone feels comfortable, and usually we are, allowed to move with them and get in with them and then take care of them all the way to the end.
All right, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I want to give out the Legacy Mutual Mortgage contact information. It's jennifer.legacymutual.com. That's Jennifer, Jennifer, legacymutual.com, 713-579-3600, 713-579-3600. So if you've got somebody that's wanting to buy a house, let's say 30 days from now, or maybe 45 days from now, they've already begun shopping. They're doing their wishful dreaming and shopping and all that, hoping to find that dream home. Where in the process do you recommend somebody actually get started, getting pre-approved? Is it after they found the house? Is it when they start shopping? When should it start?
Well, it should always start before they even start their search, right? So we like to sit down and talk with people. We like to kind of gauge what their comfort level is in terms of, what kind of monthly payment do you like to see every month? How much money are you prepared to part with? Do you feel like you want to put more equity into the house by putting a bigger payment down, or are you more? Do you feel better if there's more in reserves? Do you want to try to limit your down payment because you want to think about other things like furniture or any other things that might be going on? So we really try to sit down, talk with them, see what they're thinking and what they're comfortable with, and then from there, take that and run with it and tie it into all the other things, that they have going on in terms of their debt, how their income looks every month, how stable it is, and we try to iron those things out, and at the end of it all, you get a really good idea of where your threshold is on what you could afford, and the next step is finding the house. So that's the proper steps that we try to tell people to go to take. And 30 to 45 days is the absolute perfect amount of time for you to start doing that. Sometimes 2 to 3 months before they even start looking is a good starting point as well, because everybody's different. Everyone's got different things that are going on in their financial house, and sometimes you need those 2 or 3 months to get things straightened out to be better prepared for shopping for a home.
Okay.
That's kind of one of the things we sit down and figure out with people.
All right, so that's jennifer.legacymutual.com, 713-579-3600, 713-579-3600. So I also, every time Jennifer's come on, and now I want to ask the question, have y'all seen a flooded house yet that was bought by an investor, remodeled, and then sold to a retail end user owner occupant yet? Have y'all seen that scenario happen yet?
2 minutes.
We have, and they're starting to creep up as well. Those types of homes. There's quite a few that got hit by Harvey, so it's just a matter of time when investors are going to seek those out, and if they haven't already, and they're starting to emerge, they're starting to come around, more in our office these days. So we're definitely ready to help with those particular loans. There's actually a FHA loan that's out that's tuned to disasters. It's called a FHA 203H, and those loans in particular help certain buyers that meet those qualifications. Buy homes that were affected by the flood as well.
So that's primarily for the people that are owner occupants, for the people that are homesteaded. Is that correct? That if they want to be able to borrow some money, take some of their equity out in order, or are you talking about that's for people that want to buy properties that have already been flooded? Which is that?
That's for people that want to buy property that have been flooded.
Okay, for it to be their primary residence, right?
That is correct. Right.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. All right. Well, you've been joined live by phone with Paul Trin. He's with Jennifer Hernandez's team. That's the Hernandez team of Legacy Mutual Mortgage. That's jennifer.legacymutual.com, 713-579-3600, 713-579-3600. Thanks for coming in, Paul.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right. Sounds great.
Mike's off.
All right. Thanks. Hey, Ashley's here. I'm going to go get him so we can do mic check real quick.
Okay.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure and process. And
she's on the
This way, we have the energy
always
to make
punctual,
this
always
your
call
best
me.
Right. Yeah, Nikki's doing a great job, but don't tell her I said that.
Oh, hey.
Simple steps to get started.
Oh, she is on the phone.
Yeah, she is.
The Hernandez
All right, you ready to do the mic check?
Legacy Mutual Mortgage.
Test 1 2 1 2.
Jennifer.legacymutual.com
Yeah,
or
cool.
call
we have 3 minutes, guys.
All right, great.
779-3611.
So I understand new office is open. Is that right?
We're we signed the lease, and so we should be open by March.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, on Cypress.
Nice.
Yeah, so we need a location there.
Yeah.
Only thing is just the nuances of taking a team and moving them up there, and so
who do you pick and how do you get the right chemistry and all that?
Exactly.
Yeah, not leave a void where you are. Yeah.
I mean, there's always a little bit downturn, but then it always gets better because you peel away so many orders anyway, so it makes the whole machine work quicker.
Yeah.
They can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities,
Yeah, it's
and
a.
much more. Many of our clients loan
When did we
money
just start
from
doing a
their
Dallas thing?
IRAs to fund real estate
Kicking it
deals
off in
all over
March.
the
Okay,
country.
March.
Understanding,
We
yeah.
don't
Okay.
sell any investments
Yeah,
or
March
give
would be
advice.
big
However, we
big
do
month for
hold
everything then.
free networking
Right.
events,
That's when we're opening up our
weekly
office in March.
educational
Yeah.
classes, and free
Yeah, I think
consultations
Patrick's the
with
one
an
been
IRA
setting it up, and I think we've
For
been
more
shooting for the
information,
first
visit our
Wednesday of the
website
month.
at
Okay.
questira.com
Because in that way,
or
it's
call us
exactly
at
opposite the third Wednesday of the month of the
Right.
Jet event.
IRAs to
That
tap
makes
into
sense.
the
Yeah.
$24 trillion
Dallas got nothing like that either, so
I agree.
it'd be good.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Gillies there in Dallas. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's just so funny. When I think about Gillies, I always think about
Mickey.
Yeah, because Lisa Featherston, she worked for about 12 years. She used to date Mickey Gillies' son.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
The guy that has the Gilly boat place. He builds boats.
Well, no, this guy didn't have a job.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, this guy was pretty much a deadbeat. All he did was play Golden Tee every day. That's why she finally dumped him. But he actually gave me, he sold me the KISS pinball game.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it has the Gillies on the back of it.
Oh, that's funny.
So it was sitting in Gillies, the main location where they filmed the Urban
Pasadena,
Cowboy.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So it was in Pasadena for about 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And so it was just a little piece of history.
Yeah, I met. So he's got he had apparently a biological son and then I think it was a stepson or something like that, and that he adopted, like I guess second marriage or something like that. And that guy has he manufactures on a low volume like 5 or 6 boats a month.
Really?
And they're like little bay boats for fishing.
Okay.
And he's got some unique patent designs and things like that. But I mean, like the full blown like manufacturing a boat. Yeah, they're fiberglass boats, and you'll
Yeah.
see them. They're Gulf Coast boats, GCB.
Okay.
And he only does about between 60 and then 75 boats a year. That's his full blown. He's got like 3 or 4 guys that work for him. I met him because he was a lead on the health insurance back when I was selling health insurance.
You kidding me?
No,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he gave me he had a bunch of pictures that were signed of Mickey, and he gave me I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this?
I mean, like who the hell's Mickey Gilly?
Yeah.
But if you go to a show up in Nashville,
yeah,
he sells out
Oh, yeah.
every night.
I
I
know.
mean, every night of the
So
week.
does Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Dolly
And
Parton's
she's
a lot
90,
bigger
right?
than Mickey Gilly.
Agreed. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't tell you a single song Mickey Gilly sung.
Me neither.
But
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, 9 to 5,
Yeah,
Islands
of
in the
course.
Stream.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but she's 90.
Is Dolly Parton really 90 years old?
I'm just kidding.
All right, guys, you ready to do a radio?
Ready? Yeah, why not?
All right, fellas, hot mic.
All right, welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. We did a quick change during the break. I'm now joined live in the studio with Ashley Patten. He is Patten Law Firm and also Texas American Title. So welcome to the show, man.
Hey, Tom, thanks for having me on.
It's
I appreciate it.
always great, high energy, very entertaining when you come in.
I try to be. I try to make it things aren't so boring.
Right. so I always love, you have some great stories about crazy stuff that you see in the real estate world. Anything happened in the last month that you can say?
It's the biggest thing we have right now is unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
I mean, these flood houses, people don't understand that just when you buy a flood house right now, they haven't had time to create the market in order to actually sell it, And
Right.
so it's amazing to me the stories about people. They get in and they're trying to flip them, and there's no market for that right now.
Absolutely.
And so
there's no end user buyers. There's not a huge volume of those right now.
Right. And I mean, just the flood came, it destroyed everything, and if everything's picked back up, but I mean, it's just amazing to me the amount of people who still don't help people.
Yeah.
I mean, but as far as the crazy title stories, nothing really that off-centric. It's just unrealistic expectations.
Well, I had somebody, it was a friend of mine that I've known for probably 10 or 15 years, and they're shopping for a house. They found a particular house that they like, and they said, look, here's what I'm concerned about right now is I found the house that I love. It's for sale, and they want me to approach the seller about a lease option. And I said, well, they don't really do lease options in Texas anymore, because what she'd like to do, she can afford the monthly payments of the house, all that kind of stuff, but like a lot of people struggling to have the down payment. She's self-employed, so probably going to need a bigger down payment. Her credit's reasonably good, all of that kind of stuff. So she said, hey, is there some way I can rent it for a little while? And I said, well, you could probably rent it, but first off, the house is for sale. So that's it's pretty obvious that that's what the owner wants to do with it. And it's not in the price range that a rental would normally make sense. But what's the story with lease options?
Well, lease options, anytime you transfer a title in more than 179 days, so 6 months or more, it's considered executory contract. And executory contract they're still legal. Contract for deeds used to be the rage. I mean, it's just, I would sell you the property. I would sell you the property now, but I'm not going to transfer the deed till you pay me off after 30 years.
Right.
And so what would happen is in the year 29, the legal owner of the property,
the grantor, right?
Yeah, the grantor would say, hey, you didn't send me proof of insurance last year, so I'm going to declare you in violation of the entire contract.
Oh,
and so they would basically say, hey, we're done, and kick them out. And then turn around and sell it to another person.
Oh, that's
and
just
the
wrong.
same thing. And so legislature in 2004 basically overruled them and said, hey, you can still do them, but you have to dot every I, cross every T. Failure to do that will basically render you for punitive damages. Now, I was litigating a case personally. I take on one case every umpteen years, but this case was going all the way to jury. I actually settled this case last week to where they agreed to sell the property and split the profits, of the sale once the mortgage was paid off. But, my client's still going to lose about 60% of equity in the property.
Yeah.
Because the people who were going to buy it, ended up getting that. But they were suing her for $970,000 over a $150,000 house that sold in 2005.
Wow. So almost 13 years ago.
13 years later, she's getting sued for almost $1 million. Now, My client is 69 years old today.
And so she sold a property on a contract for deed?
Well, it was a lease option.
A lease option in 2005.
Right.
And what was their claim? That she wasn't doing the accounting properly?
She wasn't doing the yearly accounting. She didn't disclose the survey. She didn't get a survey. She didn't disclose the fact is that there was going to be a mortgage on it. She didn't disclose. There was a lot of the other documents. So she's got to have all of this, the disclosure signed off in 14-point print. She needed to record the contract for deed or the lease option. She never recorded lease option because, quite frankly, she didn't know the law existed. And ignorance of law is no defense. And so, you're expected to sit there and know everything. I mean, that's why it's so important, to work with a good realtor if you don't have enough experience doing it yourself, because a lot of times they can navigate that. But in this case, my client was a realtor. She just didn't know about that law.
Yeah, it's not just about a good realtor, because, I mean, like I was working, we're doing a deal right now that we're selling a property with an assignment. And this lady's been a realtor, claims that working with investors for like last 10-plus years. Never heard of an assignment. And I'm like, you say you work with investors and you've never heard of an assignment?
Everybody says they work with investors, but very few people really work with investors.
Right.
I mean, so that's the whole thing because...
Well, here's the thing is so many people can call themselves an investor. And what really makes an investor? There's not really a standard. Like, I could call myself a brain surgeon, but it doesn't make me one, right?
Well, there's an old joke, how do you become a consultant? You print business cards, just say consultant behind it.
Right.
And just because you have the title, it makes you a consultant. Now, obviously, a brain surgeon, you need you need a degree.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, actors have been doing that all the time. They always show the pretender.
Right.
But it's just getting back to your question about lease option. Now, as far as the lady, if you're on the buying side, lease options are fine.
Yeah.
Because all the penalties are towards the seller.
Yeah.
And so if I have a buyer contact me and ask me, hey, what do you think about lease options? Like, well, you're buying. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
because chances are you could void the contract sometime in the future.
Absolutely.
Well, the other problem that I see with a contract for deed, and we see this in a lot of properties that we track down where we're doing a lot of reverse engineering on the title work, is that somebody sold a piece of property and documented that there was a sale there and that there was but then the guy that created it, he died. And so how do you get a payoff?
See, that becomes hard because what happens is this is, that's why they're now making everybody record them.
Right.
Because the fact is that you have it in contract for deed. Now, once you make 48 payments, then the person who buys now is considered an owner.
Okay.
They're beneficial interest. So by operational law, they become a beneficial interest owner. So 48 payments or 40% of the amount. So if you sell the property for $40,000, and they pay off 40% of that amount.
16 grand, right.
16 grand. I mean, guess what? They are now legally a beneficial interest. And so no longer can you just kick them out. You have to go through the foreclosure process.
Got it.
Now, foreclosure in Texas is so easy. I mean, if they miss a payment, you accelerate the 30 days notice, and then after 30 days hits, then you have a 21-day notice. So technically, if the days fall right with the first Tuesday, you can have someone foreclose on the second month missing payments. And so...
what's more common? I mean, I know you see quite a few foreclosures in the line of work that you do and things like that. So what's normal? Like I see right now, it used to be 90 days was the standard for most banks and mortgage companies, things like that. But now I'm seeing it's stretching out even beyond 90 days. I'm seeing it's going 180 days and longer sometimes.
Well, for banks it is because banks now legally have to work with the borrower.
Yeah.
But a private investor doesn't.
Okay.
And so private investors, the time clock is so much quicker than a lender.
All right, so I'm joined live in the studio with Ashley Patten. He's with Patten Law Firm, also a Texas American Title. Their web address is PLFPC. That's Papa Lima Foxtrot, Papa Charlie, PLFPC.com, 713-621-5808. That's 713-621-5808. So y'all are opening up a new office, Cypress.
We are. We're opening up Cypress. Probably March 1st. We signed the lease last week, so excited about that.
That is very exciting. So that'll give you 2 offices in Houston.
Right.
You've got how many offices in Austin?
We got 3 in Austin and 1 in Dallas.
So that gives you a total of 6. Let's see, 3 plus 2 plus 6.
6 offices.
I can't use just one hand on fingers anymore. So 6 offices. That's congratulations. Y'all are growing.
We are. We're up to a staff of almost 70 people now, which is which is great because it's a 2005, 2006. I mean, everybody was kind of crying. We just. That time we had 12 offices.
Wow.
And so we kind of moved back, and then now we're moving back forward again, which I kept on kicking and screaming, saying, hey, I only want one office. And so it's just unfortunately, when grass grows, you make hay.
Right. Yeah. So you only want to have a kind of like the gallery furniture model. he didn't want to have a bunch of offices. Then his kids grew up and they wanted to have their own stores.
Right.
But he didn't trust anybody else. He said, they can only steal so much if they're right underneath my nose, and he's always there. So you were taking the Mattress Mac version of business.
And that guy's a Houston icon.
Isn't
I'll tell you that. He's a Texas icon now because, the storm, it's just a he was one of the first businesses out there saying, hey, if you're homeless, come over there. We'll house you. We're, I'm not sure how much the furniture he had to throw away because, all that furniture that people were sleeping on, he can't turn around and sell.
Right.
Who wants to use mattress? I certainly don't.
Yeah. Yeah, he has. He's done a lot of great things for the community. So how long is the process right now for if someone's buying a new house? They're going through the process, especially with investors. I know that a lot of investors say, well, I've got my title company, but is it an investor-friendly title company is one of the questions. What makes y'all an investor-friendly title company?
Well, we know what assignments are. We know what double closings are. It's just a lot of times you have an investor selling to another investor. Some of the investors, they don't have the same amount of expertise and experience. And so a deal can fall apart put it this way, we have to pull strings all the time to save deals.
Yeah.
Mainly from inexperienced investors. People just don't understand what they're doing. And it's a lot of times the seller is very knowledgeable, or maybe the buyer is very knowledgeable,
right,
but the other side's not. They don't have realistic expectations. And, one of the challenges we have is a lot of times the buyer, we don't know because it's flipped. Some properties have flipped 7 or 8 times. Some of these wholesale deals, now
the daisy chains.
It's daisy chain. And now what happens is we've had a transaction that's assigned. It was assigned 9 different times.
Oh my God.
And so we were insuring a $40,000 purchase.
Right.
It was being sold for $117,000.
Right.
And every time it flipped, $2,500, $3,000 clip. It's a and so a situation like that. If you're not investor friendly title, you're gonna be like, hey, I don't understand who these people are.
Now the in person. Can they buy up to the amount of the purchase? Can they buy additional title insurance?
No, they can't.
They can't.
They can't. So that's pretty much all in uninsured. So if they get a claim, they're a $40,000 claim. There's a $40,000 policy. So
in a situation like that, it really needs to be a double close, correct? So the first buyer needs to be able to close it on for $40,000, turn around and sell it to the end buyer for the $117 and clean up the transaction.
That would be the best for the end buyer because obviously he's.
Can you do a simultaneous double close like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as the money from B comes up there, we can close the same day. And the thing about an investor-friendly title company is we don't have to disclose that price.
The deal is you can't use the end buyer, the guy paying the $117. You can't use that money to fund the $40,000. The guy that's buying it for $40 has to fund his own because he used to could do it the other way, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
right. Yeah.
Then the state legislature said no.
Yeah, it's called somebody called that a wet transfer or something like that.
Okay. I'm trying. The ink on the check's not even dry yet.
That's right. That's right. Or maybe a dry double close or something like that. Or dry flip.
Oh, dry
flip. They call it a dry flip. It's like, hey, y'all do dry flips? We're like, what's a dry flip?
Yeah.
And then it's just this question is like, you use seized money for. I was like, those aren't allowable anymore.
Right.
And any title company who does do it, they may do 1 or 2, but then they'll be shut down.
Yeah.
And everybody involved will get a nice little letter from the state.
So it's Patten Law Firm, PC.com, PLFPC.com. That's P as in Papa, L as in Lima, F as in Foxtrot, PC.com, PLFPC.com, 713-621-5808, 713-621-5808. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Tom, thank you so much for having me.
I just enjoy it.
All right, appreciate it.
Mike's off.
All right, thanks.
Property. The problem is you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to
this
tap
one
into
here.
trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deal. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs.
What's that?
Or visit our website at
Huh?
questira.com.
Yeah, right.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance.
Hey, Nikki.
Simply don't know what you're
Jerry,
gonna
how
get.
are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fabulous. Just turn them up just a little bit.
I just did. Try it again.
Okay, check in. 1, 2, 3.
Still some more?
We're good.
Okay,
We're
good. All right. I think I'm starting to learn where each guest level is.
Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346.
Look out, Nikki. I'm gunning for your job.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach
Did you
us on
just
the
get a new
web
phone,
at
too?
fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling
I've had it for a while. The
specializes in
Note
remodeling
8's
of
been out for a
single-family
while, so
investment
I've
properties, whether
had it
it's
a pretty good
flip
while.
rehab or a
Oh,
rental
that's a
rehab.
Note 8?
Yeah.
No more
That's
managing
cool.
it yourself.
Yep.
No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
Yeah, I had the
So
Note
give us a call
7.
today at
and then, they had the force replacement, so I did that, even though I was having no problem with my phone at all. It was never overheating or anything like that. And then they did the force replacement, and I liked the Note 7 a lot. And then they killed that, and they said, you must turn it in. And that was like force replacement.
Yeah.
Principal Inspections works from the investor's point of view, providing
You know, I
affordable,
have the
fast,
7
quality inspection
right
for
now,
information pertinent to investors
and
while not
I had the
clouding
2,
report
3,
card.
5.
You don't have the Note 7. You have
No,
the
it's just a Galaxy
Yeah,
7.
right.
Time and money.
But,
Principal
man, the
Inspections,
jump from 5 to 7 was like the biggest improvement,
Yeah.
I thought.
License number
Um,
21264.
the 3 to 5 was just
Time is
kind
money in a
of
real estate
kind of whatever.
If your
Yeah.
insurance company
But
is slow or
I've had like no
non-responsive,
issues with
you
this
can do
phone,
the
but the
deal
5 was
like that.
really
You
just
need to
kind of same
around
issues
a
with the
quote,
3.
Right.
binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark
Yeah, I had the
Insurance.
Galaxy. I got the Edge
Benchmark
after
understands the
the
investor mindset.
Note,
They know what you
and
need and when you
so
need.
then
It's
I didn't really I didn't like the
Call
Galaxy
Houston's
Edge
leading
as
real
much
estate risk
as the
management
Note.
experts.
Yeah.
I
Benchmark
use the
Insurance
pen
Group of Texas.
Quite a bit.
281 quite a bit.
4353.
One of the things I like about it is because I can pop out the pen, write down a quick note,
Or online
and I have
at
it synced to
benchmarkbrokers.com.
Evernote.
Right.
Do you ever use Evernote?
I tried to for a moment, but I didn't go all the way with it.
Yeah, I have to say I love Evernote because I've got it here on my computer. So if any notes that I save, automatically as I'm thinking of stuff, and and I can scan documents, I can clip web pages, all that kind of stuff. So and then if you scan something and upload it, everything in that scanned document is OCR read, like optical character recognition, and so it's the whole document's index searchable.
So you have the Evernote specified scanner?
Yes.
Like the Fuji one or something?
I think it is the Fuji. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked into that one time, but no, I didn't. I kind of went away from that.
Yeah. What'd you go to instead?
I just use Google Keep, and like I said, I run everything on Google
Yeah.
apps and stuff, so everything syncs up. But maybe I need to look into Evernote again. I remember when I went through training before, like, people who are big on Evernote was just really big on Evernote.
You can interrupt, Nikki.
My bad. Hold on. All right, fellas. Hot mics.
All right, welcome back. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Hey, good morning, Lisa. So I'm joined live in the studio. We did a quick change. Jerry Ta with PropertyCare. It's PropertyCareHouston.com. That's PropertyCareHouston.com.
Morning, everyone.
713-489-7653. 713-489-7653. So anything new in the world of property management?
I always read court cases and stuff.
Right.
And there was, I think, like Pennsylvania or something. Again, I'm not an attorney or anything, but they made it unlawful to charge last month's rent when you lease it out.
What?
Yeah.
So if you want to charge first and last plus a security deposit.
In Pennsylvania or not. So I don't know if that ever makes its way to the top or something, but...
so note to self, don't be a landlord in Pennsylvania.
Can't do that.
Add that to the list of reasons why not to be a landlord in Pennsylvania.
I think one of the big things that came recently in housing was you can still continue to say no to housing vouchers.
Yeah.
Just flat out. Like, no, we're not accepting that. Like,
you're not taking a Section 8 housing voucher is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah.
I think it was going through the Supreme Court where, you couldn't say the reason why I'm not going to accept you is because you're offering housing vouchers.
Yeah.
But that they killed that, so we can just flat out say no.
So you can discriminate. You're not discriminating based on race. Any of the protected ones, but you can discriminate based on housing vouchers. Like, no, I do not want somebody that's getting government assistance in my house. I want somebody that's actually paying their own bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good thing. I mean, coming across.
You could make an economic reason why, if this person's not affording their own rent, then they don't have the money to maintain the house the way that it needs to be maintained as well. They're not going to.
Yeah, but they don't care about that. They just want to know if you're going to get your rent or not.
Yeah.
No one cares about if, that's your investment. No one cares if that's your investment and nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, except for, when you have maintenance and make-ready costs that are higher than what normal should be.
But the government doesn't care about that. They just think that as long as you're getting your rent, you're supposed to be covering all the maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's that. I guess it's interesting when people. I'm always fascinated by people that write news stories when they just really don't get it. And like, I don't know if you saw this story. And again, I'm not going to say don't want to get into politics and all that. But it was commenting about the fact that Donald Trump was protesting his taxes on this particular golf course that he owns. And so he's been assessed like $20 million in taxes on this property. And they're saying that, on all of his financial disclosures, he's saying that this thing is worth $50 million. So how can he argue that the property's not worth $20 million when he says on all his financial... That's really the argument the guy was making. And I'm like, does the guy not make a distinction between like the business that the business of the golf course is worth $50 million
right.
versus it's like the Bellagio as a business is worth probably a couple of $1 billion,
multiple times earnings.
Right, exactly. But and also understand that the Bellagio is also a physical location that is a hotel that has a taxable property value, right? Well, the taxable property value is not the value of the overall business. I'm like, are these people writing news articles that stupid? And then the answer is yes, of course they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just, you get frustrated at the level of ignorance that's displayed. I was reading an article this morning on the news, and the whole section, there was like 4 paragraphs that just got repeated a second time. I'm like, you're just trying to reach a certain length? I'm like, I felt like I was reading Deja Vu all over again.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that quote by Denzel Washington? He says that if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed, and if you do watch the news, you're misinformed.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
So, I mean, pick your poison, right? But yeah, the news is pretty bad nowadays.
So new investor, here's what I see is oftentimes new investors say, well, I don't want to pay the ridiculous amount that a property management company charges. I just rather it's cheaper just to manage it myself. And then I say, well, how much does a property manager charge? And they're like, oh, like $150 a month. And I'm like, okay.
Shouldn't be that much.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things yourself, but is that really the highest and best use of your time? There's always economies of scale. And let's say you've got 3 properties out there, and yeah, that's small enough to where you could do it yourself. But I learned a lesson. I don't know if you've ever heard this story. I learned a lesson at an early age, the value of my time. And I've told this story in public before. I don't know that I've ever told it on the radio before, but my dad always thought that it's the oldest son's responsibility to mow the lawn. And so I decided that I didn't really like yard work, so I hired my own lawn guy, a guy that I went to high school with. When I was 16, I was working at a Kroger making like $7 an hour. So it took me 4 hours to mow the yard. So my friend would charge $20, even though I can make $28. And the Kroger for that 4 hours, I'd pay out of my own pocket. And that made my dad unhappy because he thought I was being a little bit arrogant to have my own lawn guy at 16 years old. And so I created a little bit of a family conflict. But I realized that, hey, my time is worth $7 an hour, and I can pay my friend $5 an hour. And he actually built a business out of mowing lawns. He was better at that than I was.
Right.
So he was a 10 at that, and I learned that, hey, do the things that you're a 10 at an early age. So if you're not a 10 at property management, y'all charge $85 a house. I mean, I would gladly pay $85 to never have the possibility of getting that phone call saying, hey, my toilet's running or it's clogged or, my faucet's leaking or whatever it is, and not have to worry about it. I mean, it's amazing to me how little people put a value on their time. And yet when you say, hey, what's your time worth? most people don't either the A, they don't know, or B, they're like, oh, it's worth $4,000 an hour, and you're like, who the heck is paying you $4,000 an hour? You know,
not even partner attorneys are making $4,000
right
an hour.
Right, it's exactly but I only work 1 hour a year.
Right.
Yes, I make $4,000 a year. So yeah, I had somebody recently told me, yeah, I'm worth like $4,000 an hour, and I'm like, well, that's times 50 weeks times 40 hours a week. That's like, you're doing the math on it, and you're like, hey, that's like, a bunch of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, did you make that much last year? And well, I just missed it by
by a wide margin.
By this much, right? Yeah, but I'll do it like this. They're holding their finger like this, but then they're holding their hand out here like this. Yeah, by a bunch. So what would be a reason why somebody would not use a property management company?
I mean, a reason would be they just want to learn, like maybe the right questions to ask, just to start off. Sometimes
I got to tell another story. I had a guy one time, an investment banker, and he goes, I want to be a better investor. So what I want to do is I want to take on a different aspect of doing the construction. He was asking on the first remodel bid that I gave him, it was like $30,000, and he said, well, take the tile work out.
I'm going to do tile work?
Yeah, and my first thought was, did you find somebody? I mean, I was at $335 a square foot laying tile at the time, and I'm like, do you find somebody to do it cheaper? I mean, $325. I mean, it's only like $5. You saving like $50. I mean, how much could you be saving? And he goes, no. I want to lay the tile myself.
Right.
And if I'll do tile on the first one, I'll do plumbing on the next. I'll do whatever. He's going to do 10 houses in the next. And he said, that's going to make me a better investor. I'm like, no, that's going to make you a better tile guy.
Right.
My tile guy, 40 years old, and he's got a bad back, and he makes like $15 an hour. I mean, you want to learn that skill set? I mean, people's disconnect on their logic is just amazing to me.
Some people just need that hands-on sometimes. Who knows? What you don't know is what you don't know, right? Until you get into it. Maybe like that'll be a lesson they'll learn. Like, you know what? Now I know I never want to do tile again.
Yeah, but I've never laid even a single square foot of tile.
I mean, and I say that because that's how we get a lot of our investors. Like, I don't want to deal with another tenant. Again.
Yeah. So in other words, learn what you don't like. So sample all the things that you don't like to discover the things that you do like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy into that philosophy at all. That's definitely, I have a totally different philosophy. So PropertyCareHouston.com, that's PropertyCareHouston.com, 713-489-7653, 713-489-7653. You know what you realize is that you limit your growth when you're doing the things that are, and you limit the amount of money that you can make. It's a little bit like, should a brain surgeon who makes, probably $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour, whatever that number is, should that guy do his own taxes? I mean, should he do his own QuickBooks? Should he answer his own phone? Should he schedule his own appointments?
Right.
I mean, what's the highest and best use of your time? And the only thing that you have to trade, if you're in the process, for those of y'all that have not read the Robert Kiyosaki book, you really have to understand the 4 quadrants about being self-employed, being a business owner, being an investor, and then being an employee. And as long as you're in that mode of trading time for money, you have to leverage and find what's the highest and best use of your time. And I would submit that for the average investor, one of the first things that you need to do as you're growing and making your time more valuable is you need to outsource property management, even if you only have 1 or 2 houses.
Right.
That frees you up to go and get another house and another house and another house and another house, and then it becomes a scalable business.
Right. And that's what I actually had a person come up to me one time, was like, I have one so far and I want to build a portfolio. And I gave her a word of wisdom. I was like, what's the best way to build your portfolio? Is have your properties managed by someone else rather than managing your own properties.
Right.
That would free up your time to build a portfolio up. And it's like a light bulb came up.
Yes. That's fantastic. All right. It's PropertyCareHouston.com, PropertyCareHouston.com, 713-489-7653, 713-489-7653. $85 a month. How do you do it?
Well, we simplify the process. We have people that answer the phone calls and make sure everything's done correctly, and we're not slumlords. I think is the key.
Yeah.
We want houses that are nice, pretty, functional, not 1,000 repairs. We're not going to release out a house that is a wreck.
Right.
We minimize our time.
You don't do hoarder houses?
No, we don't.
Okay. Maybe that would be an interesting business model, to rent out hoarder houses to
hoarders,
to wannabe hoarders.
Yeah. Like, have at it.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. All right, PropertyCareHouston.com, 713-489-7653. Jerry, thanks for coming in. Thank you. Cool, man.
See ya.
Lights off.
All right, thanks.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-70.
What happened?
More of what you earn. Call us today at 800.
Nikki, you there?
06-4741.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you hear that kid just cut out?
Path Real Estate.
Yeah. Are you doing something else other than listening?
Yeah, it was.
Do you have cracks in your brick?
'Kay.
Here, I'll
Floors
listen.
that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart?
Yeah,
Can I
that
do the commercial?
Yeah, the commercial just went. It was like dead air for
It's probably not a question of
5 seconds.
movement, but
Is it in the
when.
middle or at the
Call
end?
Foundation Check for
Wasn't it? No, it was in the. It wouldn't. I mean, it's near the end, but it wasn't over.
has been in business
Okay.
since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations.
It's almost like y'all lost
We're
the
not in
signal for
business
5
of
seconds.
Repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281.
Yeah, like, do you hear that just glitch?
4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
I didn't hear it over here, and I'm just
That's
sitting here listening.
benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are small returns
30
getting in
seconds.
the way of
Okay.
your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right, Tom, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Want to talk about our next events that are coming up. If you want to build a retirement, most people don't realize that you're really about 5 years away from retiring if you got busy on the right path. Our next event that you can learn more about building wealth and income is going to be our intro to income and wealth in real estate. All you need to go is to the rightpathrealestate.com website. That's rightpathrealestate.com. Go to the events section in our upcoming events. The next event that we have coming up is going to be January the 30th, which, when is that? That's today. That is absolutely today. You can be in the privacy of your own home and listen to how to build income and wealth in real estate. It's tonight, January 30th, 7 p.m., and the price is right. It is free, free, free. You know, most people, what they don't realize is that if I were to ask you right now to consider how much would it take coming in on a monthly basis in order for you to be able to retire? In other words, if you were able to generate, I don't know what that number is, if it's $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $7,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever that number is, if you don't have a plan in place to help you get there, if you're nervous about where you stand as it relates to retirement, if you're not sure that you know the answer for how to build your wealth and increase your income, then come to our free event tonight. It's on a webinar. Just go to rightpathrealestate.com and register for the event. We also, if you're not really a webinar technology kind of person, all you got to do is come to register for our free event that's going to be this Thursday, February the 1st. It's at 6:30. It's right here at our offices, 11451 Katy Freeway, Suite 360. We do ask that you register for the event. It is, again, free of charge. So you've got a free webinar tonight. You've got a free in-person training on Thursday. Both of them you'll be able to ask questions, get questions answered, things like that. It's just you want to do it in the privacy of your own home, or do you want to come and meet the actual people that are doing it? Jason and I, we've bought, fixed, and flipped about 450 houses in the last 4.5 years. I say about because that number keeps growing. And because I think we did 10 deals for the month of January. Got 10 under contract, going to be closing on those. Some of those we wholesaled. Some of those we closed on to buy, fix, and flip, and some we're keeping for rentals. So learn from the people that are actually doing real estate. So if you want to learn from guys that are actually doing real estate, then come to the free webinar tonight, 7 p.m. Just go to rightpathrealestate.com and register for the event, or the event on Thursday, and learn how to build your better future. No one is going to care about your better future any more than you do. And if you're not giving it the attention that it deserves, then don't be surprised if you end up where you end up.
10 seconds.
Hope is not a plan. You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Jason and I will be in the studio tomorrow. It is the Jason and Tom Show on Wednesday. Have a great day, guys.
All right, Tom, I'll see you later.
All right, thanks.